And what was the first you noticed? Trans women are coming into this sport and they're starting to crush the biological women.
Honestly, when I started playing about 3 years ago, locally to where I was at the time, there was a transgender player, but however, she was playing in the mixed division. So I have a lot of respect for her because she knows what her talent level is and that she can handle her own. And so she plays in the mixed division. But then we started seeing a bunch of transgenders in the female divisions, and I'm watching it on TV, and I'm just seeing all of these biological women just being crushed and having, their financial security basically at risk the entire time.
Yeah, their financial security, exactly, because they're not going to win. That's your
Right.
point. Like, in most of these competitions, they're going to lose to the trans women. All right, so then there was an event at, you tell me how you pronounce this. I see it as D-Glow, which is a big elite event. When was that and what happened?
That was back in July. And Natalie Ryan took first place in that. And it was the first time she had won a major event and took such a prize purse from the biological females.
So how much did Natalie win?
I don't have the exact number offhand. I believe it was it was $6,000.
$6,000.
6,000, yes.
And how often do these competitions come along?
Oh, they're all the time. These pros are touring all the time. Locally, I have one about every weekend, sometimes two.
Oh, so you could really support yourself doing this if you're good at it.
If you're pro, yes.
And how long has Natalie Ryan, this trans woman, been playing disc golf? Do you know?
3 years.
3 years as a woman, or just 3 years total?
3 years total. She's been playing about as long as I have.
And so she goes up against biological women who've been playing the sport for 10 plus years.
Yep.
And how's that going?
Honestly, it's kind of defeating because a lot of the females work day in and day out, to make sure that their game is to a level where they can, get the furthest distance and be the best in their fields. Because females, if you're not one of the best, you're not going to get a sponsorship, worth it financially. So they're doing the best they can, and they can't keep up with these men. And so the spotlight is in essence being taken away from them. And instead of them being celebrated like they should be, they're basically being forgotten. Or the opposite which is happening now. It's the transgenders getting all of the limelight, and it's kind of almost negative.
Negative to be a biological woman? Like you're not the fun, sexy, exciting new thing.
Exactly. We're like a blip now because the transgender in disc golf happens to be the big story.
Wow. And it's not just Natalie Ryan. It looks like there's a couple of trans players, one of whom I know you raised this issue, Chloe Alice. We have on camera admitting that Chloe sometimes forgets to take Chloe's, quote, pretty pills, which is what Chloe needs to take to transition from male to female. Chloe's talking about, I guess, estrogen, and whatever Chloe has to take to appear and seem, I guess, I don't know how to say it, more female than Chloe actually is, because Chloe's a biological man. Here's that soundbite. It's number 12.
They give me medicine. I'm supposed to take it twice a day, every day. They're called my pretty pills. I forget to take these a lot. Just the medicine that's solely responsible for creating a lot of what I am today. Just forget. Whatever. It's whatever. 3 days will go by and I'll remember, oh, I haven't taken my pills. If I stop taking these for an extended period of time, I will start reverting back, transitioning back to how my natural testosterone works.
And okay, so there may be a lot of people out there saying, well, if the testosterone spiked up, disc golf would tell this person, Chloe, you may no longer compete because your testosterone rose to a level that was not appropriate for the women's division. But is that true?
Not at all. We recently found out that they don't do any testing whatsoever.
So you found this out because you decided as an amateur player, which I have to tip my hat to you because it's pretty ballsy, to do a little experiment on whether they were actually doing any enforcement to make sure testosterone levels were at a certain place, or that these are not just, completely biological men claiming that they're women and overnight playing in the women's league. And
Yes.
tell us about how that went.
Back in August 30th, I decided to set up an email account because I kind of wanted to know how it was working from the ground up to get some kind of answers. So I set up this email and I messaged the board and asked them, I did an inquiry asking them, as a transgender woman, do I need to document or show any documentation, prove that I had the surgery, et cetera? And I was told that a medical committee member would get back in touch with me. And the person who reached back out to me happened to be Elaine King, who's big in the disc golf world, in very respectable woman in the FPO field. So she was the one that messaged me back, basically letting me know that, one, they don't test, they don't look for, I don't need to have the surgery. All I had to do was basically read the criteria. And if I felt that I met the criteria, then I could definitely join as a female.
And what about testosterone levels? Would they ever be checked?
No. The only time anything ever gets checked is when they started off disc golf as a man and decided that they wanted to transition. In that case, they would have to show 12 months straight of being under 10 nanomoles per liter of testosterone and to make it acceptable and fair, or they have to have the surgery, the reassignment surgery. And Chloe is one that has neither. So in essence, she is a man playing against women.
Chloe came on the scene as a trans player. Like Chloe wasn't Clyde for 10 years playing in the male league.
Chloe did start as a man, and she took 2 years off. But the way we've looked at it, it's nothing. If they're not being asked for anything, she didn't supply anything. We highly doubt. The PDGA is definitely not letting us know whether anybody has submitted anything, and we can't do anything. We can't challenge it. We can't, show anything. The only time we can challenge it is if we have actual evidence. And the only evidence that'll work is if a doctor breaks HIPAA and gives us the documentation we need, and they're not going to do that.
So you can't just say, we want Chloe tested because Chloe looks exactly like a man and is the size of a man and was playing as a man very recently. So we want the testosterone tested because to keep it fair, you can't do that. You need somebody to actually leak to you a test or some sort of documentation that you could bring to them.
Yeah, we need to have medical documentation to prove it, or else the medical committee will just throw out the challenge, is what I was told.
So they're basically encouraging you to commit a crime to investigate this issue.
From what I was told is the PDGA is not big enough yet to be able to do the medical testing. So they've got it written in their bylaws that this is what they have to do in order to, play as a female. But they've openly admitted they don't have the money to make sure that, the testing is being carried out. So they just expect nobody to challenge it.
Have you ever had a friend who's naturally talented at things? They just pick up a sport or a hobby or a thing, and they immediately become good at it. They make it look easy. Well, if you don't have that friend, it's you, and we're all secretly jealous of you. The good news is, no matter who you are, you can make great food look easy with Good Ranchers. They source the highest quality meat in America, and they can prove it. Each piece of meat is from real American farms and hand-cut and trimmed by real American workers. They only source from farms that meet their high standards of excellence, which means no antibiotics ever and no added hormones. Good Ranchers is so confident in the quality they sell that they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee on every box they ship to you. Plus, you can use my code Megyn to get 3 free shipping and $30 off on your first order. This is America's best meat and seafood sold by some of America's best people. They've won awards like best food subscription. But their mission is still the same, bringing everyone to the table to share in the best of what makes life good. If you want the best, go with Good Ranchers. Visit goodranchers.com/Megyn, Megyn, to save on American meat delivered right to your door. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.